Hi guys, this is Jubilee with CreateJubilance.com. Today I'm going to be going over some basic crochet stitches and the pattern, how to read the patterns that go with them. I hope you have fun and enjoy the series. Alright, in my last video I went over how to make your chain and single crochet. So let's get started on double crochet. Okay, you're going to do the same thing. Cross your strand of yarn, and then you're going to make sure that the yarn that's actually attached to the yarn ball is the one that you pull through. Once you pull that through that little loop, pull it tight, stick your hook in and pull it tight. Okay, so when you're making your chain, once again, you yarn over and pull it through the loop, and you're going to do that until your project is as long as you want it to be. Let's just do a short one for the tutorial. Okay. Like I said yesterday, when I am working on my chain, I like to work at the back of my chain. You should hopefully be able to see each bump on the other side. There's the two strands of yarn, and most importantly, with double crochet, instead of starting with your second chain from the hook, you're going to start with the third chain from your hook. So double crochet, you're going to yarn over, push the hook through the third chain from the hook, yarn over again, pull it through. After that, you'll yarn over and pull it through only two of the loops, leaving you two more loops. Yarn over and pull it through the last two. Okay, let's do that again. Yarn over, push it through, yarn over again, pull it through that loop, yarn over, pull through two loops, yarn over, pull through the last two hoops. Okay, it's essentially the same thing as a single crochet, except you're adding an extra loop by yarning over before you put your hook through the stitch. And the stitches are just going to be longer. There's going to be a little bit more of a gap in them. The smaller hook you use, the less gaps there will be, and the smaller the stitches will end up. I'm using a larger hook size. For beginners, it's a lot easier to start with a larger hook size than it is a smaller one, until you kind of get used to what you're doing and get your tension even with each stitch. Alright, when you get to the end of your project with double crochet, instead of chaining one and turning, you're going to chain two. Yarn over and pull it through and do that twice. Now on single crochet, your chain one does not count as a stitch, but with any other stitch, double crochet, half double crochet, treble crochet, or triple crochet, it does. So after you chain two and turn, you will skip this first stitch because you've just made one of your stitches. So just the same, you're going to yarn over, go to the second stitch of your project, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through two loops, yarn over, pull through those two loops. We'll do that again, slow down. So just like on the single crochet, after you're done with your first row of stitches, you're going to be working through the 2 loops on top. So yarn over, push it through the 2 loops, yarn over again, and pull it through that stitch, yarn over, 2 loops, yarn over, 2 more. And when you get to the end of your project, you can see kind of which stitch is on top here. You'll go through that last stitch, and then at the very end, instead of going through a stitch, you're working with the chain left over from the last row. So you'll yarn over and put your yarn through 2 loops of that the chain from the last round. A lot of patterns will say double crochet in top of chain 2. So once again, you're going to chain 2, turn your project over. I'll do this one last row for you guys, so to make sure that you really know what you're doing. And when you first start out, don't feel bad if your tension is uneven. It takes time and practice to make sure all your stitches and tension is even. So your first project may be a little bit lopsided, but that's okay. That's what an iron is for. Sometimes when you're working projects like blankets with a long chain, your project will kind of curl up on the edges, but usually at the end of my project I'll lay it out and stretch it where it needs to be, lay it out flat, and iron it to flatten it out like it's supposed to be. Okay, now we're at the last stitch, so our next double crochet is going to be at the top of this chain spot. So yarn over. I try to turn the chain and crochet into the 2 loops at the very top. Alright, that is double crochet. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial on basic crochet. Stay tuned and subscribe to both my YouTube channel, Create Jubilance, and my blog, createjubilance.com. I hope you had fun. Thanks!